Hello everybody, welcome back. Here I am again on my tiny little Lenovo. So let's start with Bitcoin. We'll make this video short and sweet because I appreciate the production value of this is so bad that I wouldn't watch it. Right, so Bitcoin's basically still hanging around that Bollinger Band center, which actually has a downwards curve to it, which does look like it wants to keep coming down, to be honest with you, in the short term. But the 21 exponential is facing up, and that is probably the better of the moving averages to focus on, because that's the one that seems to have held us these last two major dips, which gives us a support of around about 42,566, thereabouts, give or take. So if we were to come down to that level, it would be a buy the dip, and we'd probably be looking for Bitcoin to extend its rally back up to 44,200 and then beyond, basically taking us up to the major resistance, which is around 48,000, where I imagine a consolidation or even a dump of significant size will happen. We've been worried about that for a while. Well, no, I mean it's not worried. I mean this is all good. This is fine. This is what we like. We don't have bearish divergence on this because we didn't make a new high on this weekly. So yeah, the next move up, taking us up to this level, is probably the take profit zone for most things. But it's never that black and white, is it? So the last video I made, what was that? When was that? Boxing Day, I think. I don't know when it was. We were talking about Ethereum and how Ethereum was looking good for a move later on this week. So we're a few days after that video now, and it's starting to move already. So Ethereum has been sat sort of stagnant and pretty lame really for quite a while. But we were looking at this chart and suggesting that actually at this current moment in time, we were brewing some kind of setup on the 4-hourly. We also had a retest of the 200 exponential, which had gone across retest, which ended up with a V-shaped recovery and then some, which is normally what happens. And so we ended up with a new local high being printed just very recently on Ethereum. Exactly as expected. I know people don't like it when I say that. Just for the record, the reason I say that is because that's what Carl the Moon says, regardless of whatever direction it seems to go. So I say it, obviously, all the time now anyway, because I want to be like him, as far as views are concerned, at least anyway. but, but I mean, yeah, Ethereum has been pretty lame for a long time until just recently. Surprisingly, after the video I made, actually. Um, and now what we should be looking for is a continuation. Surprisingly, I know what it says. So the next major level outside of the 2,400 zone, which is a major support, which is kind of where we were rejected from, within a fraction of a percent. The next levels are between 2,800 and 3,000. Now, you'd have to be a member of the Patreon to really understand those areas, but my my Lenovo is not really going to allow for me to start clicking around. But basically, we did a measure move on the total 2 to where it should be going to, and it measured basically 40% from the breakout, which was about 20% from the last time we did a Patreon stream. And we worked out that, okay, if we extend a 20% gain on Ethereum, it takes it to 2,800 and a $3,000 major horizontal area on the chart. So that's where I think we're going. We've got a little bit further to go on Ethereum, a little bit further to go on Bitcoin. So you should assume, which again you should never assume, makes an ass out of you and me. But we should assume that altcoins generally will trend with these two big bad boys being Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so far, for the most part, it would appear that that is certainly the case. BSV having a right old time as well. So we just flick through, obviously, everything, and we can see that for the vast majority of altcoins today, we are significantly in the green. There's going to be some in the red, but we're significantly in the green. I mean, imagine you've woken up richer today than you were yesterday, and so on and so on and so on. And so really all this video is about is saying that this is a continuation from the previous video and the one before that, suggesting that we do have further up to go. We should think about taking profit on these pumps, especially if your particular altcoin has hit a major resistance. Take some profit, at least some profit, because we are about to move into a year where we may end up consolidating maybe back down towards the mid 30,000s, which doesn't sound much, and it's not much in the grand scheme of things. But you would rather sort of not have to deal with that. That's about, we're thinking maybe currently about it's roughly a 20% move back down on Bitcoin. You could double that for altcoins. We're talking a 30 to 40% move down for altcoins. That's half your balance, basically, if you're stuck in the wrong thing there. That's looking at your balance today, and saying, okay, am I prepared to see this consolidate to the tune of 50% potentially, give or take, over a prolonged period over next year? Am I prepared for that? If your answer is yes, then that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because I can tell you now, I'm hodling plenty, and I will certainly be watching that happen, completely unfazed as well, but I'll be watching it happen. From a trading perspective, if you're trying to spot trade all this stuff, then maybe you're not prepared for that, and that's not something you want to do. So it's up to you. I know what I'll be doing. My spot account for trading, Binance, KuCoin, Gate.io, Swissborg, not so much, but all these other trading accounts that I use, yeah, of course, I will certainly be taking profit, as I have been for months, with a view to sort of redeploy later on in the year. But I'm still in plenty of trades. Don't get me wrong. It's only just today that EOS met its first sell target, which was pretty impressive to see, because lots of people doubted its power. And again, it's not power, but it certainly is decent. So yeah, came up to the first sell target, and bang, done. Excellent. But again, this isn't just an EOS thing. Everybody should have made some money at some point on some altcoin somewhere along the lines. I just prefer to trade the ones which have the setup. So that was a 25% move there from the entry point. I still think it's got power to break this, but again, at resistance, take profit. So there's the resistance. I took the profit. Not all, some. 25%. 25% taken there. 25% will be taken here. And the rest, if possible, will be taken up here. And it all depends on the overall health of the market. If Bitcoin hits 48,000, probably think about taking some off the table anyway. If Ethereum hits 2,800, I'll probably think about taking some off the table as well. Because EOS and all these other altcoins, as much as they have their own charts, they do depend on the two big bad boys, which luckily are currently today in the green. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. There's nothing much more to say. I'll be back in a couple of days, and I'll be able to make some more proper videos. So if you do have any particular altcoin you want me to look at, let me know in the comments. Or you can join the Patreon live streams. Might as well best wait until January for that, so you get a better price. But it's only £7.50 a month anyway. So maybe I'll see you there. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.